What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. So, before we get into this video about the Kansas City Chiefs, I'm going to remind you guys that whenever we get to 1,000 subscribers, doesn't matter how long it is, my first giveaway is going to be an NFL jersey of your choice, as long as you're subscribed to my channel and have notifications turned on. That being said, this video is going to be on the Kansas City Chiefs. Major trade the other day with Tyreek Hill. Have another video, previous video covering that. Everybody's saying doom and gloom. Well, okay, that's understandable. But keep in mind, they could go after Devontae Parker. They did sign Marquise Valdez-Scantling, which is a speed guy, big guy. Maybe he becomes better. 27 years old, 3-year, $30 million deal. They have Travis Kelce. They have Clyde Edwards-Helaire. They have some other guys that haven't stepped up. Maybe they step up. They have a good offensive line. They got a lot of draft picks. So they could still go after a guy like DK Metcalf. They could go after a big defensive guy in a trade. They have plenty of picks. So the draft is coming up. They could draft a ton of great players. They could move up to get a great player. Who knows? There's a lot of great defensive linemen in this draft, a lot of great receivers. They could trade up for Chris Olave out of Ohio State, or Garrett Wilson, or any of those guys. They could go after Treylon Burks, Javon Williams out of Alabama. They could go after any one of these guys. So don't panic. They could still have to go after DK Metcalf. There have been rumors about that. I don't know how true they are. I don't know if they'll be able to get him, or if Seattle wants to give him up. Because Seattle doesn't have a whole lot. So unless they want to do a complete and total rebuild from the ground up, which I believe they are in, they just don't have enough talent on defense or offense, and they gave up their franchise quarterback. In my mind, when you do that, that signals to me a rebuild from the ground up. So, here's why I trust the Chiefs to make the playoffs. They might not win the division, guys. That's a very stout possibility. Even though they got the best quarterback in the division, and probably the best coach and manager and organization. The Broncos are uber talented. And now they've got Randy Gregory with Bradley Chubb. That's going to be hard to stop on defense, plus Patrick Surtain. They have Russell Wilson. They have those weapons. They're working on their offensive line. The Raiders have upgraded significantly. The Chargers have upgraded significantly. The Chiefs could be in trouble in their division. However, that being said, I can still see all four of those teams in that division making the playoffs. The AFC is loaded. So the AFC is going to be hard for anybody to win and get to the Super Bowl. And I believe, and I'll make my predictions after the preseason and all of that, but I believe whoever comes out of the AFC will probably win the Super Bowl. Because the NFC is just not even close right now. Not this year. Probably not next year. And the AFC still has upcoming teams like, for instance, the Texans. Davis Mills keeps getting better. He was a star before he got hurt. He could be a franchise quarterback very well. They got a steal in the third round, Davis Mills. The Jaguars have Trevor Lawrence. They could turn around. They've got a superstar. A lot of teams in the AFC. Zach Wilson with the Jets. They fixed their offensive line. They're working on things. They can turn around quickly. The Patriots have their franchise quarterback. NFC teams, a lot of them are hurting and looking for a franchise quarterback. But the reasons I trust the Chiefs, the Hunt family, very stable. They're not sitting in there trying to run the show. Now, they've hired some bad head coaches. Todd Haley wasn't a good head coach. Made some bad deals like Matt Castle. You can argue all that. That's very understandable. However, since they brought in Brett Veach, very good GM, knows when to move off of players. He's in love with winning, not players. He'll move off of them when he needs to for the betterment of the team. Andy Reid can coach his rear end off. Has some issues running the ball. That's always been an issue since he was in Philadelphia. But he's managed to win a Super Bowl. And he got to the Super Bowl with Philly and had a lot of championship games. Very good and underrated head coach. Big Red, that's what they call him. Then you have Patrick Mahomes. Humble, uber talented, and is restructuring his deals and made a longer term deal so he's not counting as much against the cap. And what I liked about that long term deal was a lot of money. Not all of it's guaranteed, but what that did is stretched it out so he wouldn't be a huge cap hit every year. And it also, it's not like he's leaving the organization in 1 or 2 or 3 years. He's going to be there possibly in his mid to late 30s. So you've fixed your offensive line. You've got a lot of draft picks. They could go one of two ways. They could use every one of those draft picks to load up on offense and defense, or load up on defense and draft a stud receiver. They could package some of those picks and trade back or trade up. They could trade back to get more players and more talent. Whether it's offensive line, defensive line, get younger, get faster, and surround Patrick Mahomes for the future when the elder guys like Travis Kelce, Frank Clark, Chris Jones start to phase out, or they try to trade them for more picks in the next year or two. Or they have 2 first round, 2 second, I believe 2 thirds and 2 fourths. Just crazy. They have the most draft picks of anybody in this draft. They could package up to get talent that they want, the big time talent in the first, second, and third round. There's a lot of ways they can go. But this team is stable. This team doesn't overreact. This team doesn't overpay. They're one of the AFC's versions of the LA Rams. The Rams, everybody says, oh, AFC's big. They still draft well. And they sign good guys. And they know when to pick them up and when to move on from them. So that's why I like the LA Rams. You could very well see the Rams and the Chiefs in the Super Bowl. Or the Bucks and the Chiefs. You can see the Raiders, the Broncos. There's a lot of AFC teams. The Bengals are in it. Again, after fixing their offensive line. So if I had to pick between one of the 2 teams to make the playoffs, maybe not win a division, but make the playoffs and try to make a run. If it's the Chiefs and Dolphins, I'm taking the Chiefs. Barring a major Patrick and Mahomes injury or something, I'm taking the Chiefs every day and twice on Sunday. Y'all can hype up the Dolphins all you want. I'm not buying it. I'm investing in the Chiefs. If you're talking stocks, I'm investing in the Chiefs. I'm not investing in the Dolphins. Bad owner, bad management. Not sure about the head coach. So that's the video for this, guys. The Chiefs are still in the playoffs, in my opinion, and still have a shot to win their division. A lot of off-season and a lot of training camp, mini camps, OTAs, draft, all that stuff to go. You don't know what's going to happen. They could package their picks in this draft to trade for big-time players. You just don't know. So I'm not counting the Chiefs out until the playoffs come this year and they're physically out. I'm not counting the Chiefs out. I've done it last year and the year before, and it came back to bite me. Not doing it anymore. So that's the video for this, guys. Remember, like, subscribe, comment, share, hit notifications, and I will catch you on the next video.